I'll give you an example of how we got involved in that really quick before I move on to another issue. In 2004, there was a big sweep across the country to actually either put in state law or in state constitutions what the definition of marriage is. And so in 2004, Family Council got involved in that, and we started a ballot initiative. Here in Arkansas, you have the ability, any single one of you can start what's called a ballot committee. And whatever issue is on your mind, you know, maybe you want to like ban yogurt. I don't know why you want to do that. I like yogurt. But, you know, you just get it in your head that you want to do something to change the state, to make it better in your mind. You can go around the state and gather signatures. And you have to get your initiative approved by the Attorney General and Secretary of State and everything. But you go around and you gather signatures, and if you get enough signatures, more often than not, your initiative will go on the ballot in the next general election for the people of Arkansas to vote on. And that's what we did in 2004 with the Arkansas Marriage Amendment. And it passed with over 75% of the vote. The people of Arkansas, whether Republican, Democrat, Independent, said marriage is important to us. We need to preserve this traditional definition. The institution itself is under attack, so let's protect it. And so we are involved in that. And since then, we have done what we could to continue kind of protecting that institution of marriage. One initiative that we got behind in the Arkansas legislature was the concept of covenant marriage. My wife and I have a covenant marriage, and you know, the covenant obviously that you make is more spiritual and religious than anything else. It's before God. You make that covenant when you get married. But we thought that for those who chose to get a covenant marriage, that would just send a signal to people, a signal to society that marriage is very important. So when you get married, you can opt for a regular marriage license or a covenant marriage license. And what the covenant marriage license is there are more restrictions on the grounds for divorce. There's a longer waiting period. There is, to get a covenant marriage, you have to go through premarital counseling, things like that, because that has been proven, not just in the church but outside the church, to greatly affect the stability of marriages to get premarital counseling. So we do our best to protect the traditional definition of marriage. Another thing that we have been involved in is obviously trying to protect the family as a whole and protect the rights of children to grow up and in the best possible household, given the best chance at success. And so in 2008, we had another ballot initiative that we got involved in called the Arkansas Adoption and Foster Care Act. It was a lot more controversial than the Arkansas Marriage Amendment, but it's something that we care very deeply about. And what it did was it, for those children who are in the foster system or adoption system, who are essentially wards of the state, we tried to make it state policy that adoptive and foster children will not be placed in homes where there are cohabiting unmarried couples. And like I said, that was a lot very controversial, not because we wanted it to be. It seemed very, very much common sense to us that this would make sense. Again, social science confirms that cohabiting households are one of the most unstable households you can imagine. And so, unfortunately, what happened with that initiative, even though 57% of the voters in Arkansas said, we like this idea, long story short, the Arkansas Supreme Court struck it down. And there's really nothing we can do after that, because where you go after that is you go to federal court, but there really isn't enough of a case for us to even be brought to the Supreme Court, the United States Supreme Court, but we'd probably be wasting their time. So